Hello chess lovers, Suren here, and I have another mega aggressive attacking game for you played by the magician from Riga, Mikhail Tal. His opponent is Atanas Kolarov, and this game was played in 1957 in Reykjavik. Now let's see what happened on the board. Tal had white pieces and he started the game with e4, c5 by Kolarov, Sicilian defense, knight f3, d6, d4, c takes d4, knight takes d4, knight f6, knight c3 and a6. Black goes for Najdorf variation, bishop g5, knight d7, bishop c4, queen a5, queen d2. White is both protecting the bishop and is preparing castling queenside, e6, white castles queenside and b5. Black is starting an immediate advancement on the queenside, but instead of moving his bishop back, Mikhail Tal went for bishop takes e6. Here we go, the board is on fire, but actually this is an inaccurate sacrifice, and with the help of a precise defense, Black can manage to gain advantage. Instead of bishop takes e6, bishop d5 is stronger. Here Black has to be very careful, because if a move like e takes d5, then white can play knight c6, and if queen c7, then e takes d5, and white has a very dangerous attack. That's why after bishop d5, black should play b4, and after bishop takes a8, b takes c3, b takes c3, the players have equal chances. Let's go back, but in the game after b5 we see bishop takes e6, f takes e6, knight takes e6, and king f7. Black king is looking for a safe shelter. Now comes knight takes f8, Tal is removing the defender and then will win this pawn on d6. Rook takes f8, queen takes d6, b4. Black proceeds with the advancement on the queen side. He wants to kick away this knight and win the pawn on a2, knight d5 and queen takes a2. And here, after thinking for more than an hour, Tal played rook e1. He's preparing e5 advancement. And here Black could actually draw the game by playing queen a1 check. If king d2, then queen takes b2, and if e5, then queen d4 check, and Black can start giving perpetual check. But thinking that white has no compensation after queen takes a2, rook e1, Black decided to go for a win and played king g8, bishop takes f6, and it was in here that Black made a mistake and recaptured with the pawn. This is exposing his king too much. It was better to play knight takes f6. If knight d7 check, then king f7. Still, Black is maintaining advantage. If queen c7, then knight d8. By the way, after knight d7 check, it's very important to play king f7. Otherwise, if a move like king h8, then white has this check, and then queen takes f8. Let's go back, but in the game after bishop takes f6, we see g takes f6, and here comes the rook, rook d3. The rook will join the attack from the third rank. Queen a1 check, king d2, queen takes b2, and instead of rook g3 check, Tal played f4. He takes away this e5 square from black queen, and the rook g3 threat is renewed. Of course, he could also go for rook g3. This also gives white advantage, but Mikhail Tal chose f4. Still, white stands much better even in this line, but in the game we see f4. b3, black is still looking for counter-attacking chances, but now comes knight e7 check, king h8, and simply rook takes b3, queen a2, queen d5, rook a7. Well, if a move like rook d8, then white could give a check from g6 square. Of course, the knight on g6 is untouchable because of this rook h3 check, and black will lose his queen. And if king g7, then knight e5. This time rook g3 check is the threat. If knight takes e5, then queen takes d8. If knight c4, then king d3. And again, this is going to be winning for white. In the game after queen d5, we see rook a7. Knight g6 check, king g7. Like in the previous line, h takes g6 can be met with rook h3 check. That's why we see king g7, and simply knight takes f8, king takes f8, and here we go e5. Now if f takes e5, then f takes e5. This is exposing black's king side too much. That's why black went for this desperate knight takes e5, and now white has to be careful, because if a move like f takes e5, then rook d7. This time black can win the game. That's why after e5, knight takes e5, Tal first gave a check from c5 square, and after king g8, he first grabbed the bishop on c8, and then the knight on e5, and after queen a5 check, queen c3, rook d7 check, king c1, black resigned. White is a rook up, and there is not much black can do. Black is forced to exchange the queens, otherwise there is also this e6 threat. That's why after king c1, black resigned. Another very impressive attacking game by Mikhail Tal. Just from the opening he landed that heavy punch, bishop takes e6, and then in the dark forest his opponent lost the right path, and Mikhail Tal managed to blow apart black's position. Thanks for watching. Here are more suggestions for you. For more games, consider subscribing to my channel. I will see you in the next video.